Hi guys, thank you very much for tuning into another video of my life, and in this video we are going to do an unboxing of the Oppo Reno 5G 10x zoom, and this is in late 2021. We're coming towards the end of 2021. This phone was launched over 2 years ago, back in 2019, and in this video we will be exploring why I bought this phone in late 2021 rather than other devices. And for a bit of background, I'll let you know what device I use at the moment and my experience with that and how that's influenced me deciding to purchase this device. At any point during this video, if you find it remotely helpful, I will really appreciate it if you leave a like, a comment and a subscribe. And if you want to make any purchases, please feel free to use the links in the description and in the comment section. Those are affiliate links, so I'll get a very small payment if you do make a purchase, and it really is small, but every little bit helps the channel. Speaking of what helps the channel, I really appreciate every single person who's taken the time to hit that subscribe button. As of the time of this video, I think I have about 315 to 320 subscribers, and I'm just ever so grateful for that. So firstly, the phone that I currently use is the Honor Play, and it's a phone that was launched back in July 2018. It's a mid-range device. It's very thin. The camera isn't meant to be flagship, but the selling point is the price. The screen quality is excellent, and it's got a great fast chipset because it was designed to be used by gamers, and that's the market it was targeting. So from my point of view, I've been using it for coming up to 3 years now, well, just after 3 years, just over 3 years rather, and my experience with the Honor Play has been just excellent. Okay, it has Google services. Back then Huawei wasn't involved in all these security issues, etc., which America, Europe and UK and other countries now claim that they have the vulnerabilities for, and therefore there was no Google Play ban, so the phone works perfectly fine. Only until recently the battery started to take a dip, and who can sort of blame the device for that? It's been over 3 years since the device has been launched. So due to the battery performance taking a dip, as well as myself having dropped the device God knows how many times from a reasonable height, 3 to 4 feet, which is only a testament of the build quality, might I add. The screen has started to have a few artifacts on there in terms of brightly lit spots. So no other issues, everything else is fine, and you can't even see them in every single sort of screen scenario. In fact, most of the times you can barely see them, but occasionally there are bright spots at different parts of the screen, and that means it is now time for me to upgrade and move on to the other device. That should go to show you the sort of user I am, and that may be different from your preferences. I only tend to upgrade my phone every 2 years or so, and that too when I need to. The security updates, the software updates, those are very important. Historically, once those stopped, I used to definitely upgrade. The Honor Play, it's on a good ROM, if you like. It's on a reasonably late, still supported Android version. And therefore in every single way it's fine. The only thing I would say is camera performance is becoming more important for me these days, and the Honor Play is quite an old phone and the camera performance isn't quite there. This brings me to the Oppo devices. So what I'm looking for is something that is more in the budget category, if you like, as many flagship features as you can get, but for a reasonable price. I have already done an unboxing of the Oppo Reno 2 on this channel. You can feel free to check it out. I made it private for a little while, but I'm going to make it public again. It's not the best of videos because I have to keep censoring it because it was reflecting something I didn't want it to be recorded, but nonetheless I will make it public after this video, so anyone else wants to check it out, you can. In fact, I have bought 3, that's right, 3 Oppo Reno 2 devices for other people, not for myself, and they've been using it for quite some time. The performance on the Oppo Reno 2 is excellent. For me, the chipset is not quite as fast as I would like it. The responsiveness isn't quite as fast as the Honor Play, but the camera is just excellent quality, just outstanding camera. It's got optical image stabilization, you've got 2 times optical zoom, 5 times digital zoom, all sorts of things, stable mode when you're recording video. I think they call it super smooth or something like that, similar to how on the GoPro you get the hyper smooth, I think. So all round just excellent. You got wide angle on there, you name it, a reasonable selfie camera. I'd say that's probably a lacking point there. I think the selfie camera could be stronger, but nonetheless, I mean, overall as a package, you just can't complain with the Oppo Reno 2. And I put my money where my mouth is. I've bought 3 of those for other people. This means that as a user, I have experience of the Oppo brand and I know exactly what I'm getting into as far as the brand is concerned. Can I vouch for the brand? Absolutely. I think their devices are very, very high quality. They're priced very, very strongly for the features that they offer. This brings me to other competitors. So, for example, you have Huawei still to this day, especially if you're comparing it in this sort of year. This is 2019 again. So a competitor to this particular phone, the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom, would be the Huawei P30. Now, I'm not quite sure if there's a 5G version of the Huawei P30. The Oppo Reno, certainly you do get the 5G version and the non-5G version as far as the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom is concerned. I think the optics and the camera are slightly better on the Huawei P30, but for price and package overall, long-term support, you know, no one's going to say bad things, at least at the moment, about Oppo in the Western world, etc. So you're going to have your Play Store. That's not going to be an issue. The Oppo Reno the Huawei P30 does have the Google Play Store, but it's also slightly pricier. It tends to be anyway than the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom. And like I said, having experience of the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom, I would rather go for this one for the price rather than something like Oppo Reno P30. I keep saying Oppo Reno P30, Huawei P30, but that's just my opinion. The other thing to be mindful of this particular, if you're kind of looking at this kind of ranges, Oppo's naming convention is slightly confusing. Okay, so you have the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom 5G, or you can read it as, I guess, Oppo Reno 5G 10X Zoom. You have the Oppo Reno non-5G, so just 4G 10X Zoom. You have the Oppo Reno 5G, which pretty much looks identical to this, but it doesn't have the 10X digital zoom, but it still has the 5X optical zoom. And I can virtually not tell the difference at all if you look at the specifications between the two devices. So it's a bit of a strange one. They're all kind of very similar. They look similar. They're slightly different, ever so slightly different offerings. So if you are going to go for one, you know, personally, I would go for the Oppo Reno 5G 10X Zoom. That's my personal opinion. And I think on launch date, the Oppo Reno 5G was more expensive than the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom 5G, I believe. I'll leave a link in the description to the Oppo launch video. You might find that helpful. But what I'm trying to say here is can get confusing in terms of how they look and the naming convention as well. So before you make your purchase, just make sure you know exactly what you are buying. But having said all that, you know, Oppo, I think as a brand is excellent. It's high quality, and I'd be happy to make the purchase. Chinese manufacturers in general offer excellent value for money in terms of performance. The only difference here is that I think that Oppo now is what OnePlus wished they were, I think, many years ago. Now, Oppo and OnePlus, I think they're similar brands now, so that's another story. But back in the day, OnePlus used to offer excellent value for money. I think that stopped with OnePlus X. I think, or rather, that was the last device that had excellent value with the OnePlus X. And since then, I think OnePlus actually charges a bit of a premium compared to what they offer. Oppo, on the other hand, I think you are getting good value for money. That is just my opinion. The other thing I'd like to mention here is why I bought this device in the first place. So, the biggest thing for me is the camera these days, and I know Oppo has excellent performance and this has 10x zoom. I've seen some online videos comparing the picture quality, and I'm very, very happy with it, and the zoom is just amazing. The second thing that I really like about this device is that it's the front of the device is full screen. There's no hole, there's no notch, there's no punch hole camera, nothing like that. It's just a solid screen, and that's because of the shark fin selfie camera that they've installed, which is motorized. I think you can use it about 500,000 times, something like that. It's been tested for that long, and on the Oppo Reno 2 devices, there's been no such problem so far. So that's the second thing, a nice screen without any notches. The screen resolution could be slightly higher in my opinion, but nonetheless, online, I have not seen people complain, reviewers or otherwise, or normal customers, about the screen resolution. So I'm sure that is fine. Although psychologically, I'd like it above, 400 ppi, but that's just my personal preference. It is an OLED screen as well, so color reproduction hopefully should be very good. Black should be hopefully very good. That's the second good point about it. The third is that it's 5G. So even in 2021, at least where I live, 5G isn't available yet, but it will be available in the future. So this device, even though I'm buying it 2.5 years or so later after its launch date, it's still future-proofing me for the 5G element. The chipset also is excellent. It's the Snapdragon 855. Again, compared to other devices that Oppo launched around the same time, so Oppo Reno 2, etc., their chipsets weren't as fast as this phone. Oppo Reno 2 I have used compared to the Honor Play, and it is not as fast as I would like it to be. It is a few fractions of a second, I mean 0.1, 0.25 seconds, maybe slower than what I would like it to be. For the majority of the users, I must say that the Oppo Reno 2 and the speed at which it performs would be absolutely fine. For me, I am somewhat, I think anyone would classify me as a bit of a power user, and the speed needs to be on there because I have like 100 tabs open on my browser. I'm multitasking all the time. I'm doing loads of clicking around, moving around very fast on my phone, and every little half second does matter to me. The only couple of downsides I would mention is that this phone apparently is heavy and it's quite large as well. So for those with medium-sized or small-sized hands, or perhaps even larger-sized hands, it is going to be a bit of a weighty device. The weight is because it's solidly built. So you have a metal chassis, metal frame. There's glass on the front, glass on the back. You've got the motorization of the selfie camera. So overall, it is a quality device. So it is going to have a bit of weight compared to what it is. If there weren't any moving parts, etc., maybe it would weigh a little bit less. But again, the Oppo Reno 2 is quite heavy as well, and I think I'm going to be okay with it. So with a lot of my unboxing videos, I do talk a lot on the front of it to share my thoughts, my views on everything. Hopefully this bit helps someone, but of course you can always skip this part. I will leave a timestamp in the description or the comment section so that you can jump straight to the unboxing. Okay, so it's a huge box. As you can see, it barely fits into the frame of the camera. This isn't, by the way, this video is being shot on an Oppo Reno 2 for context. So that's what you are hearing the recording from as far as the voice is concerned, and that's the visuals as well, the camera as well. The lighting source is a bit of a daylight, a couple of yellow bulbs, and that's the lighting, just so you can judge the quality of the camera. This is the front, so you can see that it's shiny at the bottom there. Okay, and for this box looks very similar to the Oppo Reno 2 unboxing. So they've put a lot of effort to make sure that these cameras come all in a line rather than in a corner or something else of the device, and I think that's reflected in the design of it. The second thing is there's a little notch here, which is a ceramic thing, like a hemisphere that they've put on there so that the cameras are protected. The cameras themselves, you will later on see, are completely flush. So often you have the camera bumps. This phone doesn't have it. It does increase the width of it, but nonetheless, I'd rather have it nice and flat like this. I prefer it that way. On the Oppo Reno 2, the device is actually thinner at the bottom and thicker at the top end, so that when you're holding the device, you don't really feel it's that wide. And again, that's quite interesting how they've managed to do all that, I think, from a design perspective. When I feel the sticker on the top, below the cellophane wrapper, I feel like it's been stuck on top. So it looks like they would have made this box for literally pretty much all their devices, and they can just sort of change the print, and they can change whether it's 5G or not, and then stick this sticker on top rather than actually going through any different manufacturing process. Here we have the side. Again, nice simple Oppo. This is the other side. There. Again, you can see that rainbow effect. And then this is the back. Okay, obviously I've covered the part here with the sensitive phone information. You can see it's 256 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I think even in 2021, the 8 gigabytes of RAM is sufficient. You can see it's a UK model because it says oppo.com/UK. I'm guessing if this was a European model, it would be different. Okay, let's get this unboxed further. Okay, so which angle are we going to approach this from? So I think I'm going to go at the top here and just do a slice in here, because as you know, I like to open my packages without doing any damage to them whatsoever. So I think going in here is a good place to start. One thing to note about, if you are buying something from, let's say 2019 rather than 2021, there are going to be some things that you are going to miss out on potentially compared to buying a device in 2021. So what sort of things are there? So one of the biggest ones, in my opinion, is going to be screen refresh rate. Okay, so this phone I don't think has a high refresh rate. It's the traditional one, which might be 60 frames per second perhaps, I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's less than that, but I always assume that it would be up to 50 or 60 hertz in terms of refresh rate of the screen. These days you are getting 90, 120, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the things, the 2021 things, if you like, or 2020 things that you won't get when you purchase this device, which you might get if you buy even a mid-range phone these days. You might still get that. So that's something to be mindful of. But apart from that, if you know, you have to cut, if you're looking for a budget range, I think I'm doing a reasonable job here. If you're looking for a budget range of a device, you aren't going to get every single thing that you want. You are going to have to decide where you want to cut the corners or make your sacrifices. And for me, it's things like screen refresh rate and screen resolution. I would, like I say, prefer something 400 ppi above, but you know, nonetheless, it's fine for what it is. Okay, so you've just seen that cellophane wrapper come off, and the device still looks the same. Of course, you've seen the front, back, the down, lower parts, and the sides. Okay, let's get this open and see what's in there. Oops. Nice. I really like how they do that vacuum pack seal there. I mean, it's not vacuum pack, but it's so tightly. I mean, the margins are so small in terms of how tightly it fits on there. It's just perfectly right. So it's kind of a vacuum seal there. Okay, so that's the outer box. Quite tough. You can probably use it as a little shelf if you really wanted to. It is really quite tough and rigid, or little box if you want to use it for something. Okay, what do we get in here? Like I said, a huge device, and I'm only using a smartphone camera, so it's not large lens or anything like that. So you got the Oppo Reno in the rainbow, you got the 5G there, and you got small dots, okay, which I think are representative of the O here. That's their design. Everything is about O, as being the Oppo. That's inside. Oh, by the way, yes, fingerprint scanner, under display fingerprint scanner. Isn't that awesome? On a what is now a reasonably budget price device in 2021. Back then, this would be flagship. This would cost about £700 to £800 as a device. It won't cost that much. Well, it shouldn't cost that much anymore, I would hope, a couple of years later. So you have leaflets inside. Here we are. Okay, that's the leaflet. What else do you get in here? Some other parts. Okay, you can have a read through that later if you want to. Okay, put that aside. Oops. And gosh, I've been so excited to have it. So at the moment, I use a device, you know, the Oppo Reno Play, like I've just said, and that has the fingerprint on the back of the phone, which is perfectly fine. But I just think it's so kind of 21st century to have it under the display, and I've been wanting something like this, gosh, from 2018, 2019, whenever they first came out on the flagship devices. I think it's so cool. And I think the Oppo versions are really good. They're really reliable. I've got experience from the Oppo Reno 2, so I can definitely confirm that. So it's pretty cool, right? I mean, this is all, a budget range now, and you can get all of this fancy stuff. There's Dolby Digital Atmos in here. You've got, oh, my fingerprints are going all over the place on this one. At least you know I'm definitely the first person to touch this device. Let's get this open. Wow, that's nice. Okay, so that's the screen. This is the green model. Okay, I might need to cover the bottom. So that's the screen. Perfectly flawless. Really smooth to touch. I'm not sure, it's weird to say that. There is a screen protector on top, but it is nice and smooth. You can't tell that there's a screen protector on top. I'll cover the back in a second. Come back. Okay, so I've covered the back, so we'll take a tour. So that's the front of the device, that's the bottom. So you will notice that on the bottom there isn't a headphone jack, okay? And that's one of my criteria that I used to have, that I want a headphone jack. And the Oppo Reno 2 does have that. This phone doesn't. So why am I okay with it? Well, the reason is because now way back when I used to think that if a phone doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack, then you're kind of stuck. But this was years ago. But of course it's not true, because you do have an USB Type-C headphones as well that you get. And fortunately the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom 5G comes with that in the box. So I'm not even going to have to buy any new ones separately. I've got tons of 3.5mm headphone jack headphones already. So I was hoping not to have to buy another lot of headphones, but it's nice for them to include it by default. You can see the green color in the screen in your camera. I would say it's more pronounced on the video than it is in real life. In real life, it's got this two-tone-ish kind of peacock blue-green combination. I think it's pretty cool. The finish is absolutely excellent, flawless. But to be honest with you, I've been spoiled by Oppo anyway, because having unboxed other devices, I'm already aware of the quality. You've got the SIM removal tray at the bottom. That's interesting. I would have thought it might be on the side or on the top, but it's at the bottom. And then you've got the power button on one side. Let's see what you've got on the top. So the microphone, I think, is what this is. And then you've got the pop-up shark fin camera there. On the left hand side, you've got the volume rocking button. I really like the fact that it's on the opposite side. I don't really like it when the power buttons and the volume rocker, it's all on the same side. It does make it easy, I guess, for a screenshot or something, but I prefer it this way. Okay, on the back we have the three modules for the camera. So you have got this periscope zoom lens, and you've got the main primary camera, and you've got the wide angle, you've got the infrared or focusing, you've got laser focus. I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to go into details of the specifications of this device. You can check it out yourself. There's various websites available online. This is just mainly an unboxing. All I can say is that if I bought this device, trust me, I've gone into it to the nth degree to make sure this is the right device. In terms of this at the back, it's frosted, and that is interesting. The Oppo Reno 2 is shiny finish. This is frosted at the back. That's very interesting. It should give more grip when you're holding the device or putting it down somewhere. I still feel like I'm supposed to remove something here similar to this one, but of course that's not the case. Let's turn it on, shall we? Okay, nice. A little buzz. The vibration motor is quite perfectly satisfactory. I have to say the vibration motor on this one and the Oppo Reno 2, they are not as strong as the Huawei Honor Play that I've been using at the moment. Okay, so the screen response is great. The white balance, I think I'll have to adjust later. It's looking better on the video than it is in real life. In real life, there's a slight red pinkish tinge that I'd prefer it not to have, but I'll get that fixed later. I think I should be able to touch that on. I'm going to click United Kingdom. The screen response time is great. Do I think the screen could be slightly sharper? I think so. I think so. It could be slightly sharper. I think it would be nice to have a faster screen refresh rate. This isn't as fast as, this is standard refresh rate NES, but I can't have everything. And for now, I'm happy with this. Okay, let's put this aside for now. Oh, you saw it made a sound there. that device is coming, that sound is coming from the earpiece and the speaker at the bottom. As mentioned, that it does have Dolby Atmos, etc., and that's both when you have the headphones on, but also when you have them off. Okay, let's see what other goodies we get in here. So there's this plastic kind of recyclable bit. Nice, quite solid, nice for them to use that. Okay, we've got this protector of the phone. Now this is different to the Oppo Reno 2. The Oppo Reno 2 has kind of a leather effect, and this one has a different. I prefer the Oppo Reno 2 case, to be honest with you. I think that feels more premium, more expensive. This feels more rugged, but I don't get the same leathery feel. So personally, I prefer the Oppo Reno 2 one, which I think may potentially even fit this device, although I'm not sure. Inside though, very high quality. This is like a suede kind of a leather feel, designed by Oppo, and it looks like it's been stamped in there, but very precisely. Doesn't look like it's printed, but it could be printed. But we have here the inside velvety sort of suede texture. Externally, I think it could be better, especially on the side. It looks kind of quite rubbery. I'm not sure if it's meant to look like that, but personally, if phone protector points go to the Oppo Reno 2, the one that I'm using right now to record this video, rather than this one. But nonetheless, you know, again, you have to make the sacrifices somewhere. Inside though, can't complain. It's definitely going to keep your phone in a good nick. It's nice for them to include all of this stuff as part of your purchase, isn't it? So you don't have to worry about buying a screen protector, you don't have to worry about buying a phone protector, etc. These are the headphones, and these are USB Type-C. So again, excellent. You don't need to buy new headphones. They just come with the device. The only downside to using a USB Type-C headphone is that you can't charge and listen to it at the same time. But these days I've moved on to the Bluetooth headphones anyway, so that's not really much big of a deal for me. There's USB Type-C charger, quite standard stuff. SIM removal tool, and we have this Oppo charger here, which uses their VOOC technology, VOOC. So it's reasonably fast, and in terms of how quickly it charges, etc., you know, I think it's 50 minutes is half, or 30 minutes is charge gives you 50%, something like that. But I'll leave a link in the description to the official Oppo announcement, and I think that video is really helpful as far as looking at specifications and selling points of this device are concerned. So that is the unboxing of the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom 5G. There we have it, and that's the unboxing. I hope this video helped you in some way. I know my videos are quite long, I know that, but I still hope that it helped you in some way. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you need any further information which I haven't included in the video, just comment down below and I'll try my best to answer it. If you think there's other devices which are better than this, again, let me know in the comment section below. See you in the next one. Thanks very much for tuning into My Life. Have a great day. In this video, I'm going to be discussing why I bought this phone, even though we are a couple of years into the life of the phone, although this one is brand new and sealed, as you will see. Why I bought this phone, what I'm using at the moment, and what made me kind of purchase this phone in the first place.